Thank you for your interest in working with the Linguistic Data Consortium on the Siren project. The Linguistic Data Consortium, or LDC, has a long history of creating data for use by organizations who develop language-related technologies, things like automatic translators or machine readers. And much has been accomplished in these areas for very widely spoken languages like Chinese or English, but we are trying to assist with the development of technology for languages that are currently not well represented in this area like yours, and that's why we need your help. When a natural disaster strikes, relief efforts can be slow in coming because communication is an obstacle. People who need help and those who have help to offer may not speak the same language, so the goal of the Siren project is to support the development of language technologies that will make communication possible in those urgent situations. So how do computers learn to process language? They learn from language that has been broken down into its components. And if you work on the Siren project, that is what you will be helping us do, breaking language down into its component pieces in various ways. Some of those tasks that you might do involve locating text in your language on the internet, reviewing internet text to confirm that it is in your language, or performing one of several types of annotation. Let's look at a few examples. Simple named entity annotation involves looking at a piece of written text, like a web page or a blog entry, for example, and finding all the nouns. And then, using the annotation guidelines, looking at those nouns and deciding whether or not they would be what we call an entity, and then making a decision about what type of entity something is, and annotating it. Annotation is sort of like highlighting things in a book, and we do this kind of annotation using computer tools, where you select items that you're interested in and click a few buttons or add a few labels in order to indicate what type of entity something might be. Before you're asked to do any of this kind of tasking, you would receive support in learning how to use tools and learning all about the terminology involved. Full entity annotation is a more complex type of entity annotation, in which you would annotate more specific types of entities and draw connections between things like pronouns and words that they refer to. In this example, the United States requires its Olympic athletes to wear matching uniforms during games. In this sentence, "its" refers to the United States, and we say that they co-refer, meaning that they refer to each other. Co-reference is one aspect of full entity annotation. Another type of annotation in the Siren project is called noun phrase annotation, or NP annotation. And in this type of annotation, you identify and annotate noun phrases in written texts, like tweets or discussion forum entries, for example. In this sentence, the government will send aid workers to the region that was struck by the earthquake last month. Notice that the region, with red brackets, is included in a larger overall noun phrase surrounded by blue brackets, which is the region that was struck by the earthquake last month. Another type of annotation is called simple semantic annotation, in which you capture basic information about action and participants in the action. For example, in the sentence, "The boy threw the ball to the dog," throwing is what happens in this sentence, and the word "threw" is called the predicate. The boy is causing something to happen, so he is called an agent. And the ball is being acted upon by the boy, the ball is called the patient. And the dog is meant to benefit from the ball throwing, and he is called the recipient.